Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the only podcast produced by three two-time winners of IMSA Spirit of the Race Award. That's right, you're tuned into the Check Engine Podcast. We're hosted on Anchor.fm, and we are streamed all over the place on any platform you use to listen to your favorites. Nick, Andrew, and Tristan are behind the microphones yet again. What's going on, gentlemen? Happy pre-St. Patrick's Day, maybe?
I thought you were going to tell me it was a holiday, and I was shocked for a moment there. I was like, wait.
Not yet. Not yet.
What day? What day?
Boy, what day is it?
What day is it? It's pre-St. Patrick's Day, sir.
Pre-Patrick's Day.
I famously am kind of anti St. Patrick's Day, but as I grow older and acquire the taste of old people, I'm now very pro St. Patrick's Day because of the profusion of corned beef in stores.
Corned beef and soda bread.
And therefore, Reuben's, obviously, the logical conclusion of everything delicious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wait, Tristan, would you eat a Reuben?
No.
I don't think so. You sounded for a second like I was like, wait, hold on.
Wait, we're on to something here.
No, I'm very aware of Reuben's.
Breaking news: Tristan aware of Reuben's.
I'm even aware of the Rachel.
At 10. The what?
That is a headline. I like when I discover things on the internet and they're almost always negative and day ruining. Then I send them to Tristan. Hey, I just learned about this.
Well, no, I do the same, and then he tells me not to, and he gets all mad about it.
Well, that's news. It's like, oh yeah. By the way, Russia's about 10 minutes from nuking the U.S. Like, bro, just let me die. What are you talking about? Why would you do that? Just let me die.
Yeah, it would probably be better if we didn't know it was coming.
Yeah,
die with your eyes open.
How was that helpful to me?
It's helpful to me.
What was that? That story about Jim Carrey, right? He was in Hawaii. Remember, I think it was probably almost 10 years ago now. The state of Hawaii accidentally sent out a statewide nuclear like a bomb, warning, like you're all going to die in 10 minutes thing, like a warning from the actual emergency notification service. And the story that I heard goes that Jim Carrey had a moment of great peace and went and sat on the beach until his manager came and got him later and was like, oh yeah, by the way, that was fake. And it like changed his life, right? Like,
see,
just that mentality.
I'm just trying to change your life.
There's no seas around here. What am I gonna do? Go and look at an empty cornfield.
The empty cornfields, yeah, exactly. I'll wait until summer, and then you can look upon the amber waves of corn.
There you go, amber green,
amber green.
What? Okay, what are we doing, guys? This is
since we are a Cold War podcast.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
So it's not only a holiday, but well, I guess it's a second holiday coming up, Nick, but only for us, specifically for us and the listeners of this podcast.
That is true. It doesn't line up exactly, but within a few days of us releasing this very episode, it will mark our 5th anniversary.
That's crazy.
5 year, March 18th, 2018, episode 1 was released.
Damn.
Craziness.
That actually is really crazy, simply because what kind of crazy person would do this for 5 years, right?
Yeah. Just do this without making money at it. No marketing, no sponsorship. Very rare sponsorship. Well, just think of it like moves, job changes, marriages, kids, like all the stuff that's gone on in the last 5 years. Yet somehow we just keep coming back and turning these microphones on and doing this car buffoonery every couple of weeks.
Just something fun to do.
Yeah, it's a fun time. So I guess not only happy pre-St. Patrick's Day, but happy 5th anniversary, guys.
Hell yeah.
It's been
that's crazy.
A weird ride.
Well, I hope
thanks.
So. No, it's a good thing. Andrew said he would hope so he agrees with me.
Yeah, exactly. So 5 years, man. What have we done and what have we accomplished in 5 years? What's been fun? What do we remember? What did we enjoy?
Um, let's see. Well, I mean, obviously, I think the caliber of guests we were able to get on this show are absolutely beyond us. I
Truly
think that
shocking.
yeah, there's no way we should have been able to get the people we got, from Bozy to Dinner with Racers guys, Balicki,
Mhm.
like an actual NASCAR Cup driver,
Heinricher Racing, that whole
Heinricher
Heinricher
Racing,
crew.
that
Racing.
whole team.
Yep.
Yeah,
That might be my all-time favorite. That was just wild.
and the fact that we got to do that interview in their transporter too. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't a Zoom call. That was in the paddock at Road America.
Yeah, that was great.
We've had a
Um,
couple good ones in the paddock at Road America too. At least you have, Nick.
True. True.
yeah, I mean Aaron Telitz, shit.
Yep.
He was in
Yes.
he was the first time was in the paddock at Road America. That was awesome. I mean, who else? I'm forgetting people. Steve Welk, man, who wears all sorts of hats.
Oh,
Spotter,
that was a
business,
fun one. That was a really fun one. The
and that
Steve
was in
Welk,
his
that was really good.
punk rock skateboard themed office. He invited us to his home to do that one. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy.
Into people's trailers, into people's homes.
We
We're
got
just like
stick.
three assholes. Like they
Yeah,
don't know.
just
We're like, what the hell? That's so weird.
yeah, just these three hooligans showing up with microphones, getting stickers on, like a free sponsorship on race cars, the guerrilla
Mhm.
marketing that takes place. Shout out to Murillo Racing, and Heinricher too, and Balicki. Balicki put us on his Xfinity car.
He did. That's
He
right. And
did
that was
the
great.
first
Oh
the
man.
first generation of stickers.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
before we even got a professionally done logo. Although Andrew, the first logo was really well done.
Well, please. It wasn't, but thank you.
Well, actually, the Golf knockoff logo still exists and it's living strong today. And that
That's
wasn't
true.
that was literally just you and some Photoshop skills.
It
So
was, yeah. That was that. Like I've said before, that is the maximum extent of my Photoshop skills. That is the absolute peak of my artistic ability, lifetime.
It was
yeah.
enough.
So I mean, from the caliber of guests we had to the fact that we've actually had individual episodes chart in multiple different countries on Apple.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
Yep.
that. Yeah,
Including the ones with our family members, our Father's Day episode, our at the
always the
time
best ones.
wives
Always.
and fiancés and girlfriends episode.
Yes, that was just a great one to record. That was really fun.
yes, I think, no disrespect and many thank yous to all of our guests, but I think those two, the Father's Day and the Significant Other episodes, were the two most fun, like with guests to record.
Yeah, they
Um,
won't take offense to that. They'll be fine.
um, what other I have a couple ideas of what like my favorite um non-guest episodes were. Do you guys have any one or two that stick out?
Favorite
The one,
non-guest episodes.
yeah, the one that always sticks out for me is my brother's sleeper.
Yes, yeah, definitely. That was great. That was really really fun.
Mm-hmm.
We built cars for each other.
Yes, that was hilarious.
And then the inverse episode where we chose cars to inflict on each other was also very fun.
Yeah. That was also great. That was. I think about that all the time. Well, because I could probably fit a Hummer in my driveway now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would definitely still take the school bus.
I was gonna say, like, I failed miserably at that because I thought, hey, I
I
found
got
an
one.
ad, a couple $100 school bus on Craigslist, and Tristan is like, I love this. Damn it.
It's like me trying to feed hot tamales to the dog. Backfired amazingly.
Oh shit!
Literally.
That was great.
No. Luckily not literally. Just he really enjoyed them and gave him yet another thing to beg for instead of scare him away with cinnamon.
That actually reminds me. This just happened. One of my buddies has a dog who got into some ghost pepper almonds and ate the whole like jar of ghost. Dog was crazy
Ooh.
for it. Loved it. Went absolutely nuts for him.
Aha, nuts. Because
Also, yes.
it was almond.
Yeah, I mean, like, how can dogs can feel spice, right? That's like a thing. So
Yep.
I guess it just likes extremely spicy food.
Do you think dogs can handle more spice than we can on
I
average?
don't know.
Certainly
I
not their
wouldn't think
noses.
so. Right. Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't think
But
so.
anyway, we're not a spicy dog podcast.
Anyway.
You remember that episode where we just reviewed Watch Mojo lists? That was one of my favorite ones. I thought it was going to be trash, but it was actually like really, really fun.
That was fun.
We should do that again.
We should do that again. I think we can do where was it one person who was the host asking trivia, or did we each ask each other trivia questions? That one I thought would kind of fall flat, but that was fun. That one better than expected.
Yes, that's always nice. A nice reward.
I think so. My biggest, I guess, I wasn't too worried because we were just doing this for fun, but like, there's a lot of obviously car and automotive podcasts out there. We're a very small fish in a very big ocean of that. So it's like, what are we going to do that's different? What are we going to do that's unique and that stands out? So I like some of those episodes where we really thought up something. Like I go back to like, what was it? Like episode 3 or 4 when we each filled out a garage, but it was from the wedding phrase, old, new, borrowed, and blue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
We got to do some stuff like that.
I really enjoyed that episode. I really enjoyed the 2-part car Olympics.
Yeah.
Where
Finding
we
the best car of all time. That was another good one.
The bracket challenge.
It's that time of year again right now.
That's right, it is.
So I liked those, like when we were taking a common topic or a common idea that you see car journalists have done for ages, and then you put a unique spin on it, put a unique twist on it. So I really, really like those episodes.
Yeah, those are fun to make as well as usually they turn out pretty well. So
you guys think there's
as with the the Father's Day and the significant others episode, also the ones that I really like are the ones that are kind of a little personal. I think a lot of people will look at car news and talk about racing and that kind of thing, but being a slice of life car podcast is pretty cool. What one of our very first episodes, the first cars one, that was one that still has a ton of plays on it and was a really fun process to go through with you guys. So
nice. Yeah. It's
do you ever go back and listen to that one, like how terrible the audio quality was and like how our intro,
I mean, it's really something that
kind of fell flat and like
I can't
it's something
stand
I'm really proud of. Really something that's kind of proud of us for too, is that we haven't taken those down either. It's like, hey, this is where we came from. We're going to leave them up. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, why would we?
What do you think we've gotten better as like a co-hosting crew over the last 5 years? Did we improve in any aspect of this besides getting some better equipment?
Other than technologically?
Yeah, technology. And then COVID just came in and blew that all away. It's like, you can record in perfect definition over the internet, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know. I hope we flow better. I hope we don't stumble as much.
Exactly what I was going to say. I think that even, when we started the concept of the open episode, that, it was kind of rough. It was, we didn't flow cleanly from one idea to the next. It was, it was what we kind of advertise ourselves to be, but no one would actually listen to. A bunch of guys sitting in a room talking about cars where there's this big gap while you take a sip of your beer and watch TV for 10 minutes and then think of the next thing. We have to keep it flowing much more cleanly than that, and I think we've come a long way in that. But our guests can tell us, or our guests and our listeners can tell us if they agree with that.
Exactly.
That's actually a really good transition for the audience. If you've been listening for any length of time, if you're new, welcome. If you've been with us for a while, let's hear from you. What favorite episode, favorite topic we've discussed, things we've gotten better at, things we can still improve at
So things have
as
gotten
we.
worse. Ad.
What do you think we've got? Scheduling, maybe.
Yeah, worse at scheduling, worse at making time at times. I think that's definitely a problem. Once you get
Well, I mentioned,
the
but
house
I
and the
mentioned that.
kids, and
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Though there's like a lot of shit that's happening that
yeah,
this isn't a full time job for us,
life
and
do be
like
going on though.
life do be happening. But yeah, listeners, what's been your best, worst, most enjoyable episode or topic or anything from us over the last 5 years? Let us know. Reach out. We got Mastodon now. You can find us there.
That's right, we do. Well, on the topic of hopefully unique things, what I would like to do tonight for this podcast, I told you guys we are going to talk about automotive conspiracy theories, but here's what I actually want to do. I want to read you the short version of a bunch of car related conspiracy theories, and then I want you to rate them, whether or not they're good conspiracy theories or bad, or you think they're true. I just want, just based on the thumbnail, I want you to
Okay.
decide how you view the world through the lens of these conspiracy theories.
So
This could tell a lot about us.
I
so is
know.
this so is it good, bad, true, untrue? Like what's the scale? Are
Both, I
we
think. So picture it, kind of like moving axes, right? So there's good and bad, and then there's not true and true. So it's an X and a Y. And
So
I,
you
Oh,
and I
could
kind of
okay.
have
want you to.
you could have one that's like incredibly entertaining. It's a great conspiracy theory, but you're like, that's not true.
There's
Yeah,
no
And
way.
one that are super likely, but it's kind of boring or
yeah, or
whatever.
it's observable
Yeah.
fact, and you're like, well,
Yes.
no, that just happened.
That's a bad conspiracy theory because it's not one, it's real.
Exactly. That's what I would like to do tonight, and I think,
All right, I'm fired up.
yeah, I don't know. This is going to be interesting because when I started to look this up, and it all started because I'd found some conspiracy theory documentaries on your various streaming platforms. I've been watching those, and some of those are crazy, right? But it was a bad time to search for this because apparently there's one fairly major conspiracy theory that was generated in the UK earlier this year. And then there's this whole entire massive ecosystem of gas price related conspiracy theories that have been going on since the Trump presidency. So that was a lot of what I found, but I did find some more interesting stuff kind of in between.
I feel like
And I think,
the gas conspiracies have been going on, maybe not gas prices, but like fuel mileage has been going on for far longer than the Trump administration.
yeah. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, this.
Decades upon decades upon decades.
Sorry, I should. Well, let's start with that one then. The
All
first
right, let's go.
one, the first one related to that. So, yes, it's about soaring gas prices and blah 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 blah. But of course, because it's current year, the conspiracy theory is this: gas prices climbing in the US has nothing to do with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, has nothing to do with COVID-19, has nothing to do with supply chain issues. It is specifically because the Biden administration is driving up the price of gas to force you to buy an electric car.
Hmm.
I think that is a bad conspiracy theory because it is potentially so obvious.
Interesting.
It's like there's no imagination to it. It's like, hey, these people want me to like it. They've stated they want you to buy an electric car, and
Right.
you're seeing that gas prices are going up, and you're like, oh, this is because of this. Like now, whether that's true or not, you know, whether whatever your evidence may or may not be for this. It is a boring conspiracy theory. It's like,
Yes.
hey, like again, like if it's true, like, hey, these tire companies want me to buy more tires, so they're showing me like how fast I can take a corner in my 911, so I wear my tires out faster. It's like, well, okay,
I like that one.
sure. Like, sure, maybe it's a conspiracy theory, or maybe it's just kind of how the world works. So
Th
Sure.
that's a better conspiracy theory than the one Andrew read.
It is. It really. I like rate that one great.
I'm gonna start
Um,
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bridgestone.
let's
Bridgestone is
make it
out to sell me more tires.
It is. It has started right here. Every time in a commercial or
Yes.
in a truck commercial, when you see them driving off road, that they are trying to get you to spend more money on tires.
oh, that's
'Cause that'll
Bill
wear 'em
Stein
out
trying to
faster.
sell more shocks. Wear out the shocks, drive
Yeah.
the trucks off-road.
Them too. They're all. It's the same company.
Shit.
I'm also
Yeah,
starting
All
to.
the truck
Big
manufacturers trying to
Auto.
get you to void your warranty.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Now, because what is it? The new GM commercials with all three of their mainline trucks driving off road.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Um, so we I think that's how we want this to go. It already took a tangent, which is great, spurred some
that's fine.
conversation. But back to your original, theory there, Andrew, I would say not only is it not true or not a good conspiracy theory, I don't think it's true,
Fair.
simply for the fact that oil and gas and energy companies buy the oil, not the government.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
um,
Yeah.
I don't know how the government could actually influence the price if they don't own the oil.
I mean,
That,
that,
and it's my argument is it's universal everywhere, and it's like, and
Yeah,
it's not just impacting gasoline, it's impacting like natural gas and heating fuel oil. And it's like,
right.
oh, that'll get me to buy an electric car, make me unable to heat my house.
Right,
Nope.
exactly. It's yeah, it's clearly silly, but so that's been a hot one for a while. Now, the other one that made it particularly difficult to find other conspiracy theories outside of this, 'cause it's the hot one on the block now. So get mad about this one today. Um,
I'm
it's
mad.
see, I will call this. We'll call it the 15-minute city. Is what it's called. Oh
I
shit, that's
was
a really good name
talking
for a
ab
conspiracy theory.
it's a really good name for a band.
Oh yeah, it is. What? Sorry, what did you say, Tristan?
I was literally talking about this like a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's hot. It's the hot new one.
It is everywhere.
So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, Tristan, but from what I've read, there's a move in I think Oxford specifically, Oxford, England, to attempt to create a 15-minute city. The theory being, you would open up the city as much as possible to allow people to walk anywhere in the city in ideally 15 minutes, walk or bike, and you would do that primarily by removing traffic. And so
Okay.
the reaction to this has been shocking. The evidence in front of you, obviously, this is true, would tell you that the tyrannical globalists are going to strip you of your right to own a car by creating these cities, and then they will monitor you like you live in North Korea, and it's a climate change lockdown. And this is all true, clearly.
Yeah, not it's like the whole goal was originally, or as is not even was originally. That would imply that the other one is true. The goal is that everything that you absolutely need is within 15 minutes walking. So pharmacy, groceries, doctor's offices, whatever. That's all close. And then, like, sure, maybe you're not going to have an Apple store every 15-minute walk, or a Best Buy, or whatever. Um, but
Essentials.
the essentials will, and that will encourage people to do more of their day-to-day lives on foot, which is both good for us and for the environment. So the conspiracy has gone as far as to pull up these kind of uh you know fake pieces of information about, oh, they're already instituting like travel passes, and you're not able to travel out of your zone, um without special permission because everything you need is in your zone, you know, and it's like, really?
A little slippery slope fallacy there.
Well, here's the thing. So this is happening in Oxford or Oxfordshire. What I was trying to figure out here quickly is what year was season 6 of Top Gear? Original Top Gear.
Oh man, 2007, 2008.
It was 2005.
Damn,
Okay.
we're old.
In 2005, Top Gear told the world and showed the world that Oxford, well, I don't know the size of it, but it's fundamentally a large college campus. They have
Yeah.
not wanted cars in that city since 2005. If you're complaining about that in 2023, you might have missed the boat. It might just be too late for you, buddy.
And it's something that would be a major overhaul like in the United States, but functionally in a lot of Europe, that's they already have 75% of that in place. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
when I was in the UK for work, you know, not the town that our offices were in, but Cambridge, you know, we didn't drive anywhere. We went to Sainsbury's by foot. We went to the, you know, restaurants by foot. We, you know, got to the train station to get to London on foot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's all 10-15 minutes walk away, and it's very convenient. The cities are not designed for cars. You try to drive a car somewhere and it is inconvenient. Um,
Right.
you know, so I don't think it's all that outlandish to say, hey, let's push it that last 25% and make sure that people have everything they need within a short walking distance. So,
Because essentially at that point it's down to a little bit of change in urban planning, right? And I'm
yeah,
thinking, well, to reference Top Gear again, there's 3 or 4 episodes where they intentionally make them drive cars into cities that you can drive cars in, but you shouldn't because they're medieval castle towns. And what
Right.
did people do for hundreds of years up until just recently when the car was invented? Well,
they
they
walked
walked.
They
or they
walked.
rode a horse. So,
Right.
you know, motorcycles, I guess, you
Or
know,
velocipede.
velocipede.
Like,
The,
it's just
the,
like I there's a part of me that almost understands the fear side of it, that hey, you know, the car is going away, what will I do? But it seems worse to stoke that fear by invoking the concept that if you can't drive a car in perhaps 5 square miles, you cannot own a car. That seems super disingenuous to me.
how are you going
I
to get
will
between city and city?
right. I will give it points
Well, train.
for points
Oh yeah, right, we
for
got to rate it.
paranoia and
Yeah,
pulling
Totally.
out all of the real trademark dog whistle global cabal, you know, new world order globalists, you know, I'm sure that there are many ethnic groups people would like to include, you know, that, you know, they're not saying out loud. So it is a good solid, you know, piece of conspiracy theory technology.
Mhm. Yep.
um, it's based on a true thing. Governments and city planners and people want to do this kind of thing, but it's purposefully taking it too far to scare people, to make them believe there's a conspiracy theory, to make them push back against what would basically just be otherwise pitched as, "Hey, let's make sure you got a pharmacy near your house." Like
Yeah, it's a little
people
weird.
aren't gonna hate this unless it's pitched a specific way, and
Yep.
you know, they've done that, and the fact that it is as popular as it is, I
Yeah,
think it is a I think it is
shocking.
a I think it is a good conspiracy theory that is wildly untrue.
Yes. 100%. It reminds me of all the political ads slash propaganda we see during like your gubernatorial race or the presidential race, where it's just all scare tactics all the time, pushback, vote no against this, vote no against that. So
This governor
it
wants to turn your children into gum job children.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. So it's and this is the second one that Andrew presented, but I would say that this is maybe the first nominee for the night's hardest in the paint award. Like
Real hard.
it escalates very quickly, which
It
makes it
does.
so nothing about it is remotely true though, in my belief. And
Probably not.
yeah, good conspiracy, very little truth.
Like the Hunger Games thing is really, it's like they're making Hunger Games. It's like,
yes, they're going to put us all in districts.
are they now? I hate to tell you, if you live in the US, you're already in a district. So I guess bow up. Like,
Yeah,
Bow up.
weird.
I'm more of a
they're gonna
spear, I'm
put
more
us
of a
in
spear
districts
guy.
Yeah.
they're gonna put us in districts and make us fight to the death once a year, or they just want you to walk to get your sleeping pills.
That's very strange.
Maybe if you walk to get your sleeping pills, you won't need your sleeping pills.
That's true. A little exercise, a little outside time.
Yeah,
You know,
good for you.
Maybe.
Go touch grass.
touch grass, losers. Okay.
And episode title: Touch Grass Losers.
Here's a fun one. This one I like. This is an interesting one. All right. Mary Barra is the CEO of GM. All right. So there's all right. We're building the yarn. We have a picture of Mary Barra. We've got the thumbtack in it, and the red yarn's going this way.
Charlie
to
Day.
Australia. Yep. All the way to Australia, where the Ford versus Holden rivalry has been around since the building of Holden. Now Holden is GM. So then we have Holden. It goes back to Mary Barra. We're in Australia. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Now we need to take a string and put it to the LS engine. Okay.
Okay.
The rival to the LS engine. Yeah, the rival to the LS, which is the Holden engine, is the Ford Falcon, which uses the XR6 engine. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the motor in the Falcon XR6 is called the actual name of the motor internally and externally is the Barra Turbo.
Spelled the same way?
Barra. So the theory is this. Mary Barra is a Ford plant who is now the CEO of GM, so she could shut down Holden so Ford would win the Barra versus LS war. This is obviously true, and I believe it.
I can take this even further.
Oh, my! Let's go right now. Let's do it.
Did you see the announce? So, what's the most popular SUVs and pickup trucks? Are that's the war in the United States, right? It's not
correct. Yep.
It's not Holden versus Ford cars engines like it is in Australia. It's GMC, Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Dodge pickups, right?
Yep.
Did you see the announcement that GM is shutting down truck production?
What?
I don't know.
Yes.
No way, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I put it on our Facebook page. I don't know if it's temporary or not. But would anybody but a Ford plant in a rival company shut down their truck production to pave the way for F-150s?
You're right. This is true. This is confirmed. This happened.
I think this is our point of maximum or maximum points winner so far.
Yeah, this is all the way to the right and all the way at the top.
It's not only plausible, but it is an excellent conspiracy theory. The long game, the mole inside the company, the little tip off, so that when they achieve their goal, people know it was them.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, perfect.
God damn, Barra did it to him. That's crazy.
Mary Barra was the second shooter.
She's in the grassy knoll. Oh my god, I can't believe it. That's okay. That turned out better than I thought. But actually, there are a good amount of conspiracy theories about GM, and it might be because of how they do business. So another GM one is that GM killed the Fiero because the 1990 prototype was too good and it would beat the Corvette. So the evidence for this one is that this is weird. Okay, here's the connection. The 91 Corvette did a quarter in 14 and a half at 96 miles an hour.
Ugh.
The 91 front wheel drive Lumina with a Z34 did it in 15 and a half at 90. So so if you imagine that same engine, the Z34, in a 2,700-pound Fiero, they're saying that it would be
Oh,
too fast,
it's
and they
gonna
had they
break the
would
speed. It's gonna break the speed of sound.
yeah, yeah, it would. But okay, so there's that. But then couple the Fiero one to what we know to be true about actual Pontiac. And I say by know to be true, I mean, say if I cherry pick the G8 and the G4 and the G6, all the fastest cars in their area, and then look at what Pontiac was preparing to do with that. Was it called the fire breather concept? They were going to bring back the Firebird in the
Yes.
Camaro body.
Yes.
So if we cherry pick those examples and ignore the financial crisis and the fact that Pontiac didn't really make anything, then it becomes clear that GM obviously killed the Fiero and Pontiac because they were too good at their jobs.
They almost had that scare a little while ago with the ZL1 Camaro, right?
They
I was
did.
just
They
going to say
actually
that.
Wasn't it going
and
around
they
the street with
actually
its streets of Willow, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And it almost lapped as
Yes.
fast as the Corvette.
Yep,
Yep.
and there was actually like and it wasn't even done yet or something and they were like, "Okay, we got to stop." Like that was like more or less kind of announced that they had to dial back the ZL1 and come up with something new and exciting in the Corvette department because, you know, this is kind of back to our many Corvette discussions. No matter what the body shape looks like, the front rear layout was reaching parity across the board. You can only make a front rear car go so fast, then others are going to start to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And and especially when it's your own brand, it's a big whoopsie. So,
Yeah.
I don't think that's entirely far fetched that, the Fiero you know, was a loose end that GM had to tie up.
Well, I mean, yeah, they GM, instead of play this game again in house with the Camaro, just fully changed the layout of the and the Blackwing too, right?
Yes,
Although that's a
yes.
four door, but still, they just fully changed the layout of the Corvette instead of playing this game, which is pretty cool.
Yes. And if you consider what Corvette, like what generation Corvette was out at that time, it was the god awful C4.
The 91, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that was the one that they probably just introduced automatic, right? Because they're so fancy. And like,
It's true.
so I'm gonna say that this one is not only a good conspiracy theory, I would not be surprised if that was proven to be true.
Yeah, give it the old MythBusters plausible plaque.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
And
only by their own hand they keep fucking doing it.
Yes,
and also,
pattern of
side note,
behavior.
for some reason, when we talked about dropping that Lumina engine into the Fiero, where my head went immediately was the South Park episode where Randy broke into the CERN and got a little piece of a nuclear reactor for Stan's soapbox derby car.
Oh yeah. Yes, that's right. I do. Yes, exactly
They sent
that.
it down the track, and the thing just like shot off into orbit.
Yes, I do remember that.
And for some reason, he was dressed like Princess Leia when they showed the security footage of him breaking
Yes,
in.
that was great. Randy's the best.
It has
All
nothing to
right,
do with anything, but somehow that's the leap that my mind made, thinking that little Fiero just rocketing off the line.
I'm just looking here at the other ones I have. I mean, another one, another GM related one, obviously, because they've done all the bad stuff. I should have mentioned this before. DeLorean. There's we should watch this some point. There's a movie about the conspiracy theory called Framing John DeLorean. The theory being that the big three framed John DeLorean for doing all these bad things because his car was too good. Um,
But was it though?
well, it's iconic.
Yeah. Would it have been iconic without the movie?
No, no, it wouldn't. It
No.
was no, not particularly.
So that's what I'd be interested to hear what scared the executives in the big three, because there was nothing really objectively good about the DeLorean.
It's a weird.
It's got a weird shape. It's got a unique shape. Like if you see it in a parking lot or on the road, like it's like, okay, like
And
that
the
that looks all right.
doors and
Yeah,
that all
yeah.
stuff. I just, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting car because it's the subject of such unbelievable obsession, despite the fact that it is trash.
It no good.
Like, yeah, it's absolutely trash. Sorry, guys. But we should watch that. We should watch that movie.
That we should do it. Yeah, we should all watch it and come back and do like a movie review on one of our episodes.
Yeah, we should do that.
But yeah, like I don't think anybody, whether it's Big Three in Detroit or Daimler, any executives at that time would look at the DeLorean, maybe outside of the shape, and think, okay, we need to kick our design department in the ass a little bit. But like other than that, like I feel like it's almost as if like current executives saw the first Tesla. It was like, okay, I see what you're doing, but we can probably do that better than you.
Right. And they wanted a better back end and some
Right.
quality control in their vehicles before they started mass producing electric cars, God forbid.
Yeah, how about that? Sometimes first is best, but not all the time.
True. All right. So yeah, GM killing things. Yes, except for framing John DeLorean, because why they didn't need to. He just was transporting a shit ton of coke. So they probably didn't need to frame him.
It was easy that's easy to do though. Planting evidence is easy.
That's true. But also he seemed that if you look at the DeLorean and then consider the time, you're like, yeah, that probably was doing some blow.
But I'm sure the executives in the Big Three were too.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think
look at the time.
Considering the times.
What about one that we all saw happen recently? And well, we just got to talk about it again. The Hamilton Verstappen Formula One Grand Prix conspiracy that for some reason it advantaged F1 to make Verstappen win and make Hamilton lose.
Why?
I don't know. No one ever says why.
Yeah, no one says why.
They just said that that's what happened. They don't really say why.
I said it when it happened. I'll say it here again, that the thought that what was his name? Michael Massey was the race director at the time. The thought that he had, I'm pretty sure, was this is a duel for the world championship. This cannot end under a safety car. We've got to let them race for this, even if it's just one lap. That is a good thought, and that is, I think, the right thought. The way they went about it was just all completely bonkers and fucked up. The execution was terrible. So
yeah, absolutely.
It was a gaffe, a major gaffe that was made for, I would argue, the right reasons. I don't think there is any amount of evidence that can convince me that that was rigged. Like, to what end? Like, why would you not want Lewis to get an 8th championship?
I have no idea.
Like, why would you not want that to happen? That historic kind of moment. Why would you be fighting against that? It's not like Verstappen's going to take his ball and go home. He's 24, 25 years old. He's going to be around a while. And guess what? He's probably getting better, as scary as that is. Like,
Yeah.
so if you didn't win it in 21 or 22, probably before too long. So, like, yeah, no truth, terrible conspiracy.
People just mad. They're just mad.
People are just mad. It's Hamilton fans that were mad. That's all
And
it is.
that's fine. But yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Bad conspiracy theory.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Tristan, anything? There you go. There he is.
No, yeah, I think it's a bad conspiracy theory. Just because we see it so often in sports that like everybody jumps to it being a conspiracy theory, and like it's like the end of this year's Super Bowl. Like, yes, you know, is it unfortunate that it ended that way? Yeah.
Super.
Is it
super cringe?
Like, but is it like, was there obviously a foul? Did they technically do the right thing? Yes. Does that make it conspiracy? Absolutely not. And I think that it's a little foggier with this because it's like it's open to decisions being made by the race director, and when it's decisions that have some flexibility versus a rule you do or do not enforce. I think that changes it a little bit, but it's something that we're going to see this in sports forever, and I think that does not make it a conspiracy theory, in my opinion. It's not,
Yeah,
and it's also it's not that's from a functional standpoint. From a is it even a fun conspiracy theory? Also, no.
No.
Right. Also, yeah. We're clearly in a, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, we are clearly in a weird cluster of major sporting events ending with official interference, but it's not indicative of anything. It's just a weird. I mean, that hasn't happened in my lifetime, and now it happens 5 times in 3 years. Like,
Yeah,
sucks, but
we're getting unlucky in that respect. I think the
yeah.
one thing that people who were crafting this conspiracy theory like completely missed, unless I just didn't see it, and if you guys correct me if I'm wrong, that would add a shred of credence to this, a shred of plausibility, is if someone would have come out and said they did it for Drive to Survive. They did it for the show. They did it for the drama. It's better than what they got now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm not saying that makes it true, but I'm saying if someone would come out and said the only reason they flubbed this whole thing up and gave it to Verstappen was so more people would tune in to Drive to Survive.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, that at least is like, oh, okay, I can kind of see where you're coming from.
But it's just like F1. What F1 really needs that Netflix money? Like they're just, you know what I mean? Like,
maybe.
what the hell?
I mean, you've
I've seen
seen
a lot
how
of
the
people.
popularity has exploded since, like, as popular as it was, it is insane right now since that show
They are
came
using it to reach
you're
new markets, kind of thing.
out. Mm-hmm.
And I guess if you can't have interesting racing, then the best thing to do is to get a Netflix series, right?
Yes, controversy and Netflix.
Well, and okay, now we're giving way too much time to this, but
Okay, all right, okay. I have a good one here. I have one. I have one for Tristan specifically.
I'm gonna dive in on this real quick. I'm gonna swan dive into this rabbit hole for just a second.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go.
So you don't have interesting racing. You need a Netflix series to bring new money. You bring new money to appease the team principals and team owners who get a better cut of that money, who are now trying to block any new team that enters, even with the name of Andretti,
Ooh.
to dilute the money.
Oh, shit. He on X Games mode.
Maybe it's X-Files mode, you mean?
X-Files mode!
So maybe Toto Wolff, the Bond villain, is steering this whole ship. It's all Toto
Could
Wolff.
be. Okay, I believe this now. I've changed my mind completely. This happened.
To the point,
Does he have a fluffy white cat?
I wouldn't be surprised. But to the point where he had his own driver lose the world championship because he was playing the long game.
That's big. Or it's what I said a couple weeks ago, and Toto Wolff secretly hates Lewis Hamilton.
And we're back.
That's right. We're
That's our
expanding.
conspiracy theory.
New episode. We're making all your conspiracy theories better.
Improving your conspiracy theories one at a time.
That's right.
So that's what you should have done, people.
That's right. That's the linchpin, right? You have to convince people that Toto Wolff hates Hamilton, and that's how you make it true. The rest of the conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway,
here's a really good conspiracy theory for Tristan specifically. It's this. Tristan, the conspiracy is that Toyota is secretly behind Lean Six Sigma so that they could trick other companies into adopting subpar business practices.
Lean Six Sigma or yeah, I mean, Agile is the big offshoot from that that is they're currently using. I mean, I got trained in Agile by a guy who works for Toyota.
See, that's it. That's just it, though.
So yeah, I think
Toyota did develop Lean. They did.
Yeah, I mean, they developed Agile also, and I think that's I think that's or they certainly adopted it and are now spreading it to others. And I think that's an entirely plausible one.
But do you know what else Toyota invented? Just in time.
Yes.
Just in time inventory.
Yeah. So
just
yeah, they
manufacturing too.
They just invented all that shit, I guess.
Yep, the Toyota method it was originally called.
Yeah. So I guess that isn't conspiracy theory. This happened. True. Now, does it encourage the rest of the world to adopt shitty business practices? I guess. So sorry, I should have.
Wait. That would assume that would assume that these are shitty business practices. It seems to be working pretty well for Toyota.
Yep, sorry. My mistake was I didn't read the rest of that. I got too excited about Toyota actually inventing Lean. So Toyota was secretly behind Lean Six Sigma manufacturing theory so that they could trick other companies into adopting subpar business practices. Following LSS and just-in-time manufacturing resulted in all of the shortages that we experienced throughout COVID. No, not particularly.
Second nominee for Hard in the Paint Award.
Yeah, that's
pretty good though.
That's the Accelerated Quickly Award, Unintended Acceleration Award.
Hey, also Toyota.
No, Audi.
No, the floor mats. Remember?
I know. The original news article was in the 80s about Audis.
Oh shit! They stole that too.
They convinced Audi to have a news article about unintended acceleration.
No, for great business practices.
Yeah.
There's your conspiracy theory.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. So that one's true. Like we said, that one.
That happened.
It actually happened. Not a conspiracy theory.
Well, except for the COVID part.
Right. Yeah, that's where it. Yeah, that's the twist. But I mean, in that case, that's just being an idiot. Like,
yeah.
No, Lean didn't have anything to do with the COVID shortages.
Yeah, because Lean doesn't take into consideration a worldwide pandemic and supply chain issues that result from it. Otherwise, we'd have more stuff in stock.
Right, but it's all in a way. It's, I guess, in a perverse way, it could be seen as true, but it's just not because.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is another good one that we've got here? Have you guys ever heard of the company Tucker?
Yes.
Heard of, yes. Aware of, like Tristan is of Rubens.
Aware
yes.
of them, I'm aware.
Never, yes, same. I am also aware of Tucker in vaguely the same way I'm aware of Rubens.
Well, Tucker, Preston Tucker specifically, and his Chicago Tucker automobiles were going to be, they were the upstart. They were Tesla before Tesla. They were going to take down this corrupt company. Corrupt company being all three of the other brands, I guess.
Let's corrupt three companies.
Yes, and after World War II, they had trouble restarting. Tucker did, and they made all of 51 cars ever before they had to file for bankruptcy. And the conspiracy theory is that somehow the big three were responsible for all of his business problems.
All of his
Somehow?
ills.
But he only made 51 cars. So it's a super rare collector's item, but probably not a conspiracy theory there. He was probably just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Give me one reason why they were like, and I'm not saying you, Andrew, I'm saying the people who came up with this. They were responsible for all of his business problems. How? Like what?
Oh my God.
What could they have done?
Wait, what? Sorry. There's a story here that somehow got bumped 3 days ago, but was originally written in 1989. So this was not something I've ever seen before.
Okay.
Let's see here. Blah 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 blah. He had such a phenomenal car, the big three automakers moved to block it by bullying their own suppliers into refusing to sell him parts, or maybe he was just behind on payment. No one knows.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're getting somewhere. The government was conspiring against Tucker as well. And it doesn't say
there was I'm
how.
looking at it now. There was an SEC trial that basically a grand jury investigation into that 5 counts of conspiracy to, 1 count of conspiracy to defraud, and 5 counts of SEC regulation violation, and 25 counts of mail fraud.
This is against Tucker, yeah?
Against Tucker, yes.
Yeah.
Basically included leaks of the detailed SEC report that was never released publicly. Colliers ran this. And then basically the Tucker Corporation was closed on the same day that the trial started. 50 cars, not including the prototype. The government contended that Tucker never intended to actually produce a car. Basically,
so he was just doing like fraud. He was just stealing investors' money. Apparently,
yes, yep. That's the big thing, is that he was basically just collecting a bunch of investment money from rubes and was never going to create a car.
Well, he made 51, so
take that.
Take that, I guess.
He would. I think he'd be eligible to race an IMSA. I think that's how many cars you have.
That's homologated.
Homologated.
Ooh, enough for homologation. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like he was just kind of a shyster, and it wasn't the big three that were taking him down.
Yeah.
No, it was
true.
the government.
The government.
Ooh, I missed this one earlier. I had an order, but it got blown out of the water because we got so excited. The opposite of 15-minute cities. All right, this conspiracy theory is that U.S. suburban sprawl is deliberately intended to create a car-dependent culture that benefits the automobile and oil industries.
That one I actually partially buy, because I feel like it's at least partially true. Like, because it was, now whether that's a conspiracy or just people were sold a product that they liked, so it perpetuated the production of that product. Like post war, people were shown, oh, here are these wonderful cars you can drive around in, and now that you have a car, you don't have to live right on top of your neighbor in a flat. You can get a whole house to yourself. And like, So then, yeah, all these neighborhoods were built because cars were available. Yeah, and I think there are some things like correlated to what we were talking about with the 15-minute city is that zoning decisions were made that like, hey, you can't put we're going to deny a bike lane here.
Mhm.
We're we're not going to zone commercial within X many miles of residential. You're going to have to drive to stuff, you know. So yeah, is it conspiracy theory or just kind of the way the market shook out? I don't know, but
Yeah.
I do believe that they are designed that way. Now, whether that's specifically it's designed around driving. Now, is that specifically to benefit the automobile industry and the oil industry, or is that just a side effect of that? So
Yeah,
that's
I
the
think
hard
it's
part.
probably chicken egg, right?
I was just gonna say the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
No, like, it, if do you think that the availability of the automobile post-war perpetuated the creation of suburbs, or do you feel like the suburbs were built to get people to buy more cars? So if you think the latter, you're a conspiracy theorist. If you think the former, you're just like Tristan said, it's just kind of the way the market went, you know?
Yeah,
So I am 100% with you, Andrew. It's chicken and egg. Like, it just
Yeah.
whatever side of that argument you fall on, I I I fall on I'm with Tristan on this one. Like, cars were here, which means you didn't have to live in an on the 15th floor, like 2 blocks from the factory you worked at.
Right.
You know, fresh air, your own space, no smog, all of that stuff.
So I'm laughing because of the next one that I have here. Um,
Well, go for it.
this one's actually a lot because
a lot.
it's 13 different conspiracy theories,
That is too many.
all about the movie Cars.
Oh, yeah, I've heard a lot about. I've heard a lot of these. Weirdly enough,
Or all of the Cars movies, I should say. So not just Cars 1, but a lot of them. Um what's the first one here? Mater is a serial killer. It's the first one,
Hmm.
I guess, because he owns the tow yard, and so because the cars are people, it'd be like displaying dead people.
he owns the graveyard. It's in his best interest to fill it.
Yes, exactly that. Um, there's one that so World War II canonically happened in the Cars universe. So the conspiracy theory is that there was a Cars 9/11. I don't know why that specifically, but okay.
How had that been pulled off?
I don't know if that's what it says here.
Interesting.
The Cars have an organized religion, as confirmed by the fact that there is a car pope in Cars 2.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's not a conspiracy theory. That seems like
Yeah,
fact to me.
that happened. It's a
True.
society. Like,
The
These are people.
Cars, yeah, the Cars adopted the personalities of their former human masters who mysteriously died. Oh, sorry,
Is the is
who
the next
either
one that they
mysteriously
didn't?
died or killed their owners. Just had to
Right.
to
I
make
was to
that.
say that
Yeah.
was that's more likely. Let's face it.
mhm. Everybody knows that. Come on, man.
And then related to that, uh, Cars somehow became sentient and then immediately overthrew humanity. But this was caused by technology similar to self-driving.
It's like a Terminator scenario.
Yes, but
They
friendlier.
became self-aware.
Let's see. Oh, and then the really mortifying one. Cars did not take over humanity. They are evolved humans.
The
Cool.
Kurzweil, what is it? The convergence or whatever he calls the singularity.
Yes.
Singularity,
Singularity.
where humans and technology become indistinguishable.
And so inside of every car's car there is a human being.
Why would we choose vehicles?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I want to know. There's a
They
post here with
require arguably more maintenance than we do.
there's a post here with drawings, and I just absolutely refuse. I'm not doing this.
Wait, there's drawings?
Yeah. There's
Oh,
drawings.
shit.
One last Cars one. We'll do one last Cars one. Sally from the first
Cars.
one, right? Yeah, from the
Sure.
first one. The theory is she tried to kill herself before she ended up in Radiator Springs. I'm just going to read this one because this one's weird. I don't know. When Lightning drives off with Sally to the Wheelwell Motel, he asks her how a city Porsche ended up in Nowheresville. She responds that she did indeed have a lavish life, but she wasn't happy with a far-off look. This
That's
is
it?
this is a common sign of depression. Not being able to find happiness even in situations where most others do. Then she says she drove away from home into the desert until she broke down. Not ran out of gas, but broke down. We know that cars die, and I would suspect breaking down and crashing are the only ways that happens. Then she talks about how Mater found her and towed her back. She didn't call for a tow. She was found, broken down, alone in the desert, driving away from her life without a destination.
That kind of disproves the Mater's a serial killer one, though. We're at odds here.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's his cover-up, though. He saves one to kill 50. It's a classic
Oh
scheme.
my goodness! All right, someone's been listening to too many true crime podcasts.
I mean, no, not anymore. Well, we're not a podcast, so
It's very meta podcast about podcasts.
All right, we'll do one last one because I'd never heard of this one, but apparently this is one that has been around for a long time. So maybe you guys have heard of this one, the gasoline pill.
I'm
Nope.
intrigued.
So the theory is, and apparently this has happened multiple times throughout history, as recently as, oh my gosh, 2007 was the last one. A gasoline pill or gasoline powder is any product claimed to be able to turn water into gas. None of them are real. It's completely impossible. It can't happen. And the last one, I'll just read this in Wikipedia. Between 92 and 2007, that is a fucking scam, bro. Between 92 and 07, a businessman called Tim Johnson managed to garner over $100 million for the promotion of a, quote, magic pill that cut emissions and made fuel last longer. Firepower International was the name of the company.
Oh, wow.
In 2007, his Virgin Island registered company collapsed. No assets could be retrieved and no evidence could be found of the efficacy of the tablet.
So that's not a conspiracy theory. That's just a scam.
Yeah, no, well, it just turned into a scam. It originally started in 1916, with a guy named Louis Einricht, who claimed to have a water to gasoline pill. Shock. He was a scammer. And so was the guy in 96 and in 83 and 94. They were all scam. So what we're learning is that this can't happen.
This is the semi-modern lead to gold alchemical bullshit.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they had a pretty cool logo, though, did Firepower Operations.
Or that's
Firepower Operations.
It's like that guy who is selling invisible dolls on eBay.
What?
You didn't hear that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he was selling invisible like baby dolls, and he would just ship people empty boxes. And he was getting like
sad.
50, $60 a pop for them.
Wow.
Hey, some people are just clever.
Yeah, but like also like invisible, and also you can't touch them. Like, is that the?
Yeah.
intangible as well.
Well, he didn't lie. He, that,
We can't prove he did, at least.
that's right. He didn't lie.
So that the gasoline pill is not a conspiracy theory. It is a scam. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
that's just a scam. I guess. Yeah, that's true.
So both very not so I guess true in the fact that it was a scam,
Right.
but
That did happen.
zero on a conspiracy theory scale.
That's true. And I guess it's worth mentioning, related to that, another actual conspiracy that's been circling around on TikTok. Again, as we just explained, you can't run a car on water. The conspiracy is that you can run a car on water, but they don't want you to know.
Okay.
That's it. They don't want you to know because of the water.
Got it. Okay.
That's it, man.
Who's they?
Well, actually, I can say more about this. The fact that water powered cars is a conspiracy that comes up over and over and over again because of a guy called Stanley Meyer. You ever seen this? Heard about this?
No.
So Stanley Meyer
Nope.
was an inventor who claimed to have invented the water powered car, and in 1998 he died while eating at a restaurant of a cerebral aneurysm. So just died. Light turned off. According to his brother Stephen, Stanley Meyer took a sip from his cranberry juice, fell violently ill, and uttered with his dying declaration, "They poisoned me."
They poisoned me.
I don't know if that's true, but it makes a good story, and I think that's why that's a punchy story. You know what I mean? In '98, it was almost solved. Stanley Meyer, he died at a cafe. You know what I mean? Like it's catchy, and I think it makes it easy to form other conspiracy theories around that. Yeah. But fuel cells, the hydrogen fuel cells are like the closest thing.
But
we're almost there.
That's kind of the difference, right? Like a car that runs on water, hydrogen fuel cells, like a vast difference in between the two. Infinite difference in between the two.
Yes. 1,000,000%.
Yeah. All right. Those are all the ones I have, honestly.
Those were good ones.
There's some good. There's some good. There's some bad. There's some funny ones. There's some things that just happened. There's some things that just didn't happen. It's kind of the whole range.
That was actually that was a really fun episode. I enjoyed diving into those. I want to hear though some other conspiracy theories that we may have missed from our listeners. So I encourage them to reach out to us on social. We have a Facebook page. Find us Check Engine Podcast on Facebook. We do still have a Twitter, Andrew.
We do at Check Engine Pod. I checked it just the other day, actually, accidentally.
Oh, oops. Didn't mean to click that button. Tristan, what's Instagram?
Instagram is at Check Engine Pod.
And then I'm going to try Mastodon here. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. It's at Check Engine Podcast at mastodon.social.
Correct. He's
Got it. Yeah.
He's got it already.
We're on Mastodon, kids. Be sure to like, follow, share, post, DM. Tell us your conspiracy theories. Reach out how and when you can. You can ask us questions. Let us know what you like, dislike. Give us topic ideas. All that stuff. Anything else before we wrap up here, guys? Or do you think that we can call this one?
I think we're pretty good. I think we've done well.
Yeah.
I think we've done well. That'll do. Well, thanks for sticking with us today, everybody. We appreciate you listening, but we don't want you just to listen. We want to interact with you. We already mentioned the socials, but even if you don't want to interact with us on social, that's all right. You're listening to us on a platform somewhere, right? Cool. So on that platform, there is an opportunity for you to leave a review. Go ahead and do that if you would, please, preferably a good review, and or hit that subscribe button. It's free, not going to cost you anything except for half a second of your time, and you'll get notified of any new content that we put out for you. If you're really into what we're doing and you want to support us monetarily, you have two options for that. You can go to patreon.com/check engine podcast, or hit that support button on our homepage at anchor.fm/check engine podcast. Every cent pledged is put towards making this a better experience for you, the listeners, and funding our next 5 years as a show. None of it
5
goes
more years.
5 years.
None of it goes back into our personal pockets. Again, thank you in advance. Who or what are we thanking before we get out of here today?
I would like to thank the denizens of the internet who spend their time wildly overestimating the capabilities of everyone and everything. Without you, we would have no conspiracy theories, and the world would be a slightly duller, if more rational and sane place.
That's very true. That's very true. Tristan?
I would like to thank my sister. It was her birthday this previous weekend.
Right. Happy birthday, Brenna.
And due to a bit of a scheduling snafu, we were unable uh, to visit her at her home for her birthday in Georgia. So she made the arduous trek north through a bunch of snow and ice, and joined us up here for a rousing good time. So thank you for driving up so we can all celebrate your birthday with you. Happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday, Brenna. Are you
Happy-
guys getting crazy snow there?
Not crazy.
We got some more. We got some more again last week, but that was when they were driving up.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what
Jeez.
happens is, Andrew, it snows overnight, and then it's 40 during the day, and it all melts away. And that's been a cycle for the past couple of weeks.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we've just been getting rain, and then I get a text from Tristan's like, "It's 10 inches of snow now."
Yeah, it makes it to us, and boom, snow.
But only
can't
for,
believe it. I
like-
move away, and you guys actually get a winter. I could not be more upset.
Well, I mean, it's winter for like 20 to 24 hours at a crack, and then it melts off. So,
Sounds good.
but anyway,
right.
off topic. Happy birthday, Brenna. And for me, one, I guess, is a shout out. I just want to shout out my Wednesday night men's league basketball team. A couple days from recording this, we are going to be playing for our first league championship in like 10 years.
Hey.
Woo!
We made the finals this year. Last year we got knocked out in the semifinals in triple overtime.
Oof.
So
Big
to
oof.
get into the championship this year is a really big accomplishment. So congrats, guys, and looking forward to Wednesday, the championship game. And then I usually end by saying, as always, thank you, listeners. But hey, we made it 5 years, and that's because people listen. So
Yeah,
thank you, listeners, for your continued support. That's not my and always. That is my actual thank you this week. So thank you for 5 years of continued support. We love hearing from you. We love recording this for you, and we cannot wait to do it again. Until then, take care.